So in this video, I'm trying to figure out which is faster, AFK ship farming or dungeons in Grand Peace Online. So I ran a bunch of tests, I did a bunch of math. It's really, like, I do math. Crazy. But I wanted to figure out, because people were arguing, like, which is better. Realistically, it really depends on what you want to do. You want to do less work, or you want to pay less attention, or you want to maximize the amount of speed. I'm primarily looking for the speed in this. So I ran tests on solo ship farming, and I did a run in solo dungeons. I kind of did the average between the amount of runs I've done between solos and with a group of people. So when it came to solo ship farming and solo dungeons smoked. So what I did was I figured out the spawner for ships. It was around 40 to 45 seconds, and then I kind of did it so where I'd only calculate the 1%. It's aka the smaller ships, and compared to galleons, because galleons have a 2% drop rate. So every rate I'm telling you can be a lot higher than what I'm putting on, or which ones I've calculated. And the main hurdles with the ship farming is the serpents and the krakens. So with serpents, they have 1,345 health, same as krakens. The biggest problem is that krakens are not that good for this. Krakens tend to die faster because they're the way they work is that they're also slower. They'll die faster because they're up on ships, so cannons will kill them. But with sea serpents, they tend to not die faster. You can put them in the line of fire and they will get hurt, so try to avoid that. But also krakens like run at your opponent or your enemy ships, so they'll go out taking it longer, when instead they could be sitting and just spin cycling and like throwing down tentacles to kill things faster. But yeah, most of the time this is just what happens. So krakens and serpents have the same amount of health, being 1345, and they lose 1 HP per second. So they last around 22 minutes and like 40 seconds. Well, 45 seconds. So again, serpents last longer than krakens. So honestly, krakens are not that good for this, but again, it doesn't hurt to have them, especially when a horde of galleons pops up on you. It's really nice, but it doesn't really matter. The main thing I want to get across is that they last for around 20 minutes. Honestly, krakens last shorter, but serpents will last around 20 to 22 minutes. The main issue is that exact thing. Their cooldowns are 45 for serpent and kraken for an hour, respectively, making it so you only have 22 minutes worth of farming. And in comparison to dungeons, you just, as soon as you're done the run, just hop into another one. So it's slower because you have to wait on a cooldown, making it around like 22. So because they last 22 minutes, you only get like 23 off of serpents. So you're gonna have to wait in between those. So you kind of get the point at this point. Like for 22 minutes worth of farming, that's like around a 60, not a 60, that's a 31% chance of you getting something if it's only 1% drops. Again, probably higher depending on how many gallons you get, but again, I'm not calculating gallons because you're not guaranteed them, and I don't know the rate of them showing up. And with solo dungeons, they last around 35 to 32 minutes, depending on what you're using. For the most part, if you're running something like a gum or bomb, they will last around 25 to 32 minutes to do. They could take longer, could take shorter. This is really what the average seems to be. So again, in the same amount of time that you could have done kraken farming, there's only a 31% chance if you're soloing that you would have got anything to begin with. So again, it's in every way, shape, and form solo dungeon's better. And again, there is a chance that you die in dungeon solo, but I even if you do, it's still faster because you'd have to do an hour's worth of ship farming with krakens AFKing to even get effort. So yeah, and it would take it's gonna take longer because of the cooldown. Dungeons easily smokes solo ship farming. It's pretty bad. I mean, I feel like most people would have figured that out. Even if you do die in solo dungeons, it's still easily the best method to get fruits. So when it comes to two people ship farming, it's quite obvious that because your initial percentage for ship farming solo was going to be 31%, margin error could be higher. It's gonna make it so it doubles basically with two people. and you have access to more Krakens and like sea beasts, you don't. What I would recommend is only to use one sea serpent and one Kraken, and then the other person in the other, when both of them die, use the other two, since you'll be more efficient in your farming. So instead of having to wait for one of your serpents to come off cooldown, you only have to wait. You'll have to wait way shorter because another person will be getting fruits with you. So again, you'll have that's a 62% every 22 minutes, which is good because you have two people. You double the amount of ships spawning to you. So you'll have 44 minutes, meaning that the percentage would be 124. And math-wise, that's not how you would write it out, but like, you know, just to get a point across. 124. So you technically be statistically guaranteed something. In the 44 minutes that you would be farming. Again, your percentage if you're farming with two people for the first 22 minutes is a 62. Again, if you do the 44 because you're doing with two people, you would hold on summoning both of yours. You would have a 44 minutes, which would only make you have to wait 16-minute cooldowns. Again, this is in a perfect world where you don't die, and your sea beast doesn't randomly disappear because of, you know, a bug or something. That has happened to me a couple times. Not even bug, but like if they don't have a ship to fight or something, they just despawn. So again, this is in a perfect world where your serpents don't die early, your Kraken doesn't die early. You should be fine doing with two people. So it's like a round for 40 minutes of farming, you're guaranteed a fruit, and have a 20% leftover, 24% leftover. So the chances of you getting another fruit are very low. So with two people dungeon farming, it takes around 20 to 26 minutes. The low end, you know, 20 minutes, 26. The high end, honestly, the high end could be 30. But even then, again, you would get a minimum two fruits an hour, and a maximum two fruits an hour if you're taking the most time in dungeons. The minimum you can get 3 if you're able to do in and out, and you're fast. Likely you won't, so you'll be a little bit over an hour. But even then, again, even if those 16 minutes where you had chances to farm, you would still not make nearly as many as you would in dungeons. So again, in terms of two people ship farming and two people dungeons, ship farming gets smoked again. Dungeons is just better in every way. Honestly, I don't think it's worth your time to do two people or one person ship farming. It's really pointless, even if it is AFK. I mean, what you could do is be on the second sea, because I ran on my tests on the first sea, near the rock in Skypia, where you can just set your ships and stuff. Super easy. That's what I do. It makes it the most convenient. But you can set it up on the second sea where you can solo or duo ship farms, and you wait for the islands, the Colosseum, the Colosseum of Ark, I think it's called, to spawn a fruit. At that point, you know, you can get another fruit, but in the amount you'd be waiting. So if you're looking for efficiency, and again, these don't even compare to two people dungeons. So again, two people dungeons smokes solo ship farming and two people farming. So even solo dungeons, even solo dungeons smokes two people farming. So if you do it by yourself, you're still better off than farming with two people. And two people farming, it's a joke. Dungeons just kind of smokes it. So when it comes to 4 people farming, the way I ran my tests to maximize on your experience in ship farming is you two people set one serpent, one Kraken, and then the other 2 people wait until those die. So aka the 22-minute minimum, 22.45 minimum to spawn theirs. So you have only a 60-minute cooldown between both of your Krakens. Again, so if you did that, you would have a 124 chance of getting it in the 22 minutes that you're waiting. So it would be if you did 44 minutes worth of it, and that's again with perfect conditions, you having enough wood to continuously repair, not making your ships die, you having your serpents not get killed, you sitting there and repairing your ships over and over. So again, it's barely AFK, it's quote unquote AFK. You would net around 2.5 fruits. So 248%. Again, these are statistically what you would be doing. You would honestly be doing more because again, gallons can give you more. But I'm not calculating gallons, so again, this would probably be like 2.6 to 7. I don't want to count the amount of gallons percentages because again, you're not guaranteed gallons. You don't know when gallons are gonna appear. It's just a chance. So this is the bare minimum if you get no gallons. So you know it could range to higher amounts. But even with that being said, you're not guaranteed anything because again, you're proccing the 1% repeated. That doesn't mean you're 100% gonna get this amount of fruits in this amount of time. In comparison, in dungeons, you will 100% get the fruits that you farm for. Even with all this, and me giving the benefit of the doubt, in 44 minutes you'll be getting 2 fruits. Can potentially get a third. That is still not gonna beat dungeons with 2 people. So let alone 4. I didn't even run a test for 4 because 2 is more than enough if you're running like something like Marrow or Suna and a bomb or Gome. So again, Krakens get smoked once again. So yeah, like it's not worth your time if you're even doing 4. And again, you will run out of resources like wood really fast. And also, you need a Kraken core, a sea beast core for each person. That already is gonna run you some items / fruits. So good luck trying to even do this. It's not worth your time really if you're just looking for efficiency. Even if you're doing it for laziness, it's not even worth that because the amount of work you have to sit there to put into repair ships over and over, you're gonna get bombarded at some point and run low on wood and not be able to do it. So even with that, you're still low on stuff. Like you're not gonna be able to consistently sit there and just farm AFK, quote unquote AFK, these ships. Like it's just not worth your time. Even if you're like just being lazy and don't want to do dungeons. If you don't have like a dungeon fruit or something, like you have like a here or something, I guess it's worth your time. But again, you'd have to gather multiple people to do it, which really sucks. At that point, just a solo with Hiei. Like it would probably take 40 minutes, but you're guaranteed something over this. It might not feel worth it, but I mean, hey, like it's just not. Like it's not worth your time. If you have like a second monitor, I guess do it if you're like watching something a lot. It's kind of nice. It's a good thing to do with your friends, I guess. Even that, and it's funny when I ran the test, I ran an alt account and myself, and then my friend did an alt account and himself, just so we wouldn't have to gather four people. You only really need 4 accounts, so you could do that if you for some reason have an alt. It's not worth your time, regardless. Like you're just better off queuing dungeons with your friend. I also ran a test with 6 people, theoretical, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of this, again, your averages would be higher for most of your farms, but also they can wane. We're talking about statistics here. You can get super unlucky or you're super lucky. You can get like 5 fruits in 5 minutes. You can get no fruits in like 2 hours worth of farming. But again, there's a good chance. This is kind of the averages if you ran constant tests and stuff. And this is again with me excluding the 2%, which I really didn't want to do the math for, because there's no way for me to track how the galleons spawn. So with 6 people, this is exhausting to do. First of all, you need 6 people. Dumb. You need 6 core, 6 krakens. 6 krakens, 6 serpents, whatever. And this is not me. This is with me not knowing whether or not 2 krakens and 2 serpents would be enough. Running by my tests and stuff with just 4 people, I doubt it. I assume you're gonna need more. So good luck with this. I feel like it might be worth your interest to do it. If you do 3 people in one spot and 3 people in another spot, maybe you would be able to do it. Not like 6 people together. So again, this is just me assuming that 2 krakens and 2 serpents is enough. Which again, with a group of just 6 in one spot, no. But if you split them between 3, maybe. Probably, actually. Again, you would need a lot of people. If you, for some reason, have 2 other alt accounts, I technically could do that. But that is not worth my time. And, like, annoyance to do it when I could just load up a dungeon. Even then, your rate would be, for every 22 minutes would be at 188.57% for every 22 minutes, again. And 377.1 every 44 minutes. So at that point, you would be beating dungeons. And even then, like, again, you're relying on you not getting your Kraken or Serpent killed, you not dying so your Serpent and Kraken don't despawn, and you not bugging out or lagging out or like crashing or something. And having enough wood to continuously do this back to back, and then being able to in those 60 minutes repair your ships and stuff, do all you need to do. It's ridiculous. It's so much, and you need the resources, the two Krakens for each, the 2 cores for each person, and then, you know, the gathering of 6 people. It's dumb. Then you would beat it. So if you really are looking for the most efficiency, I guess do 6 people. If you somehow have 6 accounts to do this with 6 people, dungeons is worse. I mean, if you really want to pretend like that's somehow better, good luck with that. You do you though, if that's the way you want to do it, and you're sick of tired of doing dungeons, go ahead. I mean, at that point, just get your 6 friends to play dungeons with you, and you're probably better off. So I had to do math for a GPO video, so I don't know, like or something, like, subscribe. Thank you for watching. You had to listen to numbers the entire time, but yeah, thanks for watching, and have a good day.